This video is about mending the cardigan we already mended in video number 24. So this is our starting point. Cardigan that we added patches to a little while back and patched a little while back, and I guess my kid got in a fight with some blackberries or something, because there's this whole cluster of holes on the back and on the front on the same side, and I haven't looked thoroughly elsewhere. And I was doing a lot of thinking about how I could do subtle, gray, heathery patching, because we tried to keep everything very gray last time and make it look like it came this way, right? No, plus stripes, but still, like it came this way. But good news is, she says she wants colorful this time. And so, got some patching fabric, just stuff I grabbed out of the pile that I don't have much of. And we're gonna have some fun. So, sorry about that. So here's a cute little square. And first thing we're gonna do is just stick the needle through it, right? I'm not gonna worry about hemming it, because I don't mind the look of the fuzzy edges, and because there's going to be so much stitching it doesn't really matter. But this way the knot at the end is tucked under. So we're going to go for a really simple approach, and we're going to try and keep it square to the side seam and to the bottom. Whee! So I guess getting set up is the longest part of it, and then you just turn your favorite audiobook or whatever on and quietly stitch the time away. Opal? Opal, what are you doing? Oh, hi. So the cool thing about a cluster of patches like this, when you send the stitches out into the fabric in general, is that even if the patches don't touch, the stitches start overlapping. And they're reinforcing it, and they're also creating very pretty patterns, which I like. That makes me happy. However, the blue, I got this at the secondhand shop and I wanted to use it, and so I decided I needed a blue fabric for patching. And I was wrong, or something. Yeah, I was wrong. I could have made do with all the other pretty colors, because this one is too dark. Here, I'll show you. So, just like what I showed you with the mending video for the sweater, how you can use the black and white filter on your phone to figure out if something is the wrong or the right value. Either way, it makes it stand out from the rest if it's a different value, right? So, the blue is just dark, but that's okay. I might put another patch in this area for absolutely no reason except to help it to blend into the background. Or if I don't, then at some point I will need more patches in this area and it will just naturally start to blend in as it gets other colors and other threads over it. This is the last color I'm going to use with this particular round of mending, because we've covered a couple different clusters of holes and a couple stains and some individual holes, and at this point it is definitively a mended garment. And as long as I have some fabric that is not too terribly dark and pretty much any thread at all, I can add one patch at a time and it will just blend right in, which is awesome. Okay. This was a weird spot on the cuff that it just needed help. It was crumpling and folding and starting to look a little chewed up and also stained right here. I don't know what my child did to it, but all better now. Ta-da! And the reveal. Clearly my child is barely tolerating this part. If you would spin in a circle for me, baby. And again. Okay, no, that's cease, desist. Lord. Alright, so...
You didn't say how far I had to go.
This little patch, we followed the line, which is kind of cool. Let's see, there's those. Oh, here's the patch that, here we go, that followed the edge of the cuff of the pocket? I don't know. Alright, turn more, my love. And there's the cluster of patches that had to happen because she got in a fight with a blackberry bush. Are we all done? Do we think that's most of the patches?
Yes.
No, wait, there were elbow ones. Which elbow was it? Oh, there's, Lord have mercy. Elbow. So, yay, all better.
Or lower arms and elbows.
It's not my fault, that's where you wore through it. Oh, there's a hem one somewhere. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's what you do to it.
What?
Okay, I get it now. You may return to Opal. Thank you for your help. And for bonus footage, we're doing a book flip through. For the same reason that we had the tiny human pose in front of the bookcase because it's chilly and stupid outside. So these, it's a two-part series, V&A of course. Hello, Opal. But I'm going to say this is the most extra pair of books I've ever seen. And even though I'm honestly not terribly interested in the clothing of the time period, it's interesting enough to make up for it. Because it's just so lovingly detail-oriented. Look at those patterns. And then there's how-tos, like, you know, what order to put things together in. There's a close-up of the lace and a pattern for the lace. Okay, and that's just the getting started. There's explanations of previous repairs, mending, museum stabilization, how to put in gussets to make things kick out around your hips, half-scale reproductions. Look at that. It's beautiful. Look how it kicks out over her belly, and it's not maternity or anything, it's just the shape of bodies. So, I will say, if you know any other books like this, look, it's another one. Look at those sleeves. I love the sleeves. It talks a lot about how to manage the shoulders too, and how to do the embroidery, and if it was done in a shop or at home, the shape of it is gorgeous. I do not get the pinking thing. It's just, hello darling. Just not my gig. But can you see the lacing panel? It's so cool. And then, yeah, it's falling apart. Let's take lots of perfect close-up pictures of how it's falling apart. And explain all the layers and pattern all the layers and take x-rays. So, if you know of any other books that are done to this degree of, that's knitted. It's fancy knitted for when visitors came over and you didn't want to get out of your bed. So you put on your fancy knitted, complete with patterns, sweater so you could sit up in your bed and receive guests. Patterns. Which is so cool. Gorgeous cloak that is totally a reuse of other fabric situation. They talk about that. I keep starting a thought and then getting distracted by the pictures, don't I? If anyone has ever seen other books that go into this degree of detail and just careful, loving examination, please tell me in the comments. Because, yeah, I would love to encourage whoever is publishing gloves. Look at that. I can't even wear gloves. It freaks me out not to be able to touch things. But yeah, cannot wear gloves. But look at that. It's so cool. The little stitches. And then on the inside of the thumb. Because, yeah, I would just love to have more books like this. Even if I'm not interested in the thing. But really, if I am interested in the thing, because if they did a series of books like this on really traditional Mexican textiles, can you imagine how amazing that would be? Really traditional Nigerian ones, oh my god, that would blow my mind. I would probably buy extras to give them away, but no, just these are the only ones I've seen like this, and it's hard to, well, honestly, I've got a cool book on the history of Mexican clothing. Mostly it's pictures of carvings, but still really cool. I haven't been able to find, look at the collar on that, and the shoulders, they're so cute. I haven't been able to find any books on, honestly, the whole continent of Africa, excluding Egypt, so far as traditional clothing goes. So, yeah, just everybody who watches this, please, if you make it this far, listening to me babble, I love you. Thank you, first off. Look at that. Isn't that cool? And look at the close-up of that embroidery. And it talks in detail about how to do all the coily madness. Tell me what your favorite book about clothing or textiles is. Look, all that wire, you see how it shows up in the x-ray? It looks like little worms all over. Hello, Opal. Patterns. What layers go where? Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, the ornamentation phase. Because so much extra. Look at the pictures on this thing. Obviously, new garment. Gorgeous. Looks like, I don't know, Vermeer. Boned the crap out of that, didn't they? Why are you nibbling on my elbow? I will give you treats in just a minute, I promise. Let me finish showing my friends these beautiful books. A busk. Carved, well, polka dot carved one. Oh, getting ridiculous with the rough situation. So, yes, thank you for helping me turn the page, Opal. How to make, I don't know, standing collars, I think. And how to, look at that. They poked little holes in the back of the real collar so that they could tie the, holding up the decorative collar on top of it. And then just ridiculous detail there. Look at that. Looks like a crazy neck corset. I mean, it is a crazy neck corset, it just only happens in the front. More talking about lace, lots of lace. And Opal helping. Oh, this is one of those, well, you're restricted to plain black dresses, but you can put a fancy on the front and pin that in place. I'm not into putting pins into my clothing while I'm wearing it, but it was a thing for a really, really long time. Oh, look, there's a diagram. So, oh, this. I think this actually is 4 pins, and somebody got really excited because there's a needle buried in it somewhere. Something like that happened. Look at that knot. Never-ending story, feels like, doesn't it? Uh-oh. Opal's pouting now. Look at these shoes. Don't they look horribly uncomfortable, but absolutely amazing? Look, look. Your heel is cantilevered off into space. Why do humans do this to themselves? But also, it's delicious. Darling girl. Okay, Opal says we're done. That's basically the end of the book anyway. So, thank you so much for watching.